Well, everyone, iOS 26.1 right now is actually a pretty crazy version of software, and it's actually pretty crazy how good of a version iOS 26 is starting to become. But like I said, from a feature standpoint, Apple's listening to us kind of, but there are still lots of glitches and lots of problems inside of iOS 26.1, so please don't go through and install this update just yet. Keep that in mind. There's definitely going to be a lot more updates coming out in the future that I would recommend installing, but as of right now, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense to do that. But within iOS 26.1, Apple has actually gone through and given us a couple of cool little improvements inside of here, including one that I wasn't expecting them to actually do. So within Beta 4, Apple has now basically given us the capability of turning on or off liquid glass. So basically in the settings app, they kind of have it on two different sides. Either we can turn it on clear mode, which would be the liquid glass mode, or we can get it on tinted mode, which would be kind of the old school classic type of approach. So it's not as see-through. So it's actually pretty crazy that Apple has given us this type of capability, because it's almost like they've walked back some of that liquid glass kind of push that they've been giving us. Now, I have seen that type of thing here and there of like, oh, Apple's like kind of walking back what they're doing, but I like giving people the choice, right? I like that they gave us the choice. Even when you take a look at a lot of features out there from a lot of different manufacturers, they will usually give us the ability of turning on or turning off features depending on our what we want. Like Apple gave us Siri. We have the ability of turning off Siri. We can turn off Apple Intelligence. That's something that Apple pushed a lot of, resources on. Even with Google, with Gemini, and Samsung with Galaxy AI, they gave us the capability of turning it on or off if we want to. Even though it's a really big part of them, they have that type of capability. Even things like the camera button. We can change that camera button or the action button with turning it on or off. Yeah, they spend a lot of time and money talking about it, but I like having the capability of turning it off if we want to, because not everyone's going to use it. It's the same thing with flash. Do you want the flash to turn on in every single photo? Probably not. So even though it's there, it doesn't mean you need to use it all the time. So I like having the choice, and that's pretty crazy. Apple has now given us the choice with that. I'm a big fan of it. I think it was a really good thing for them to do, and I'm excited to see what other things Apple's going to throw in inside of iOS 26.1, because they're dropping a bunch of betas for this version of software. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.